Heritage Day, which is tomorrow. The jazz session is intended to give back communities and introduce young people to jazz. I'm joined in the studio by Judith Mugeni, Standard Bank Joe of Jazz Head of Marketing, to tell us about the masterclass. Judith, welcome and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So before we even get to what's happening tomorrow, let's speak about the Joy of Jazz, right?
Sure.
So obviously, a Standard Bank, you guys have been doing it for what, 22 years now?
22 years now.
And how's it going?
I think it's amazing having a brand, as you're saying, that has survived for 22 years.
Yes.
It's going because this is Festival Week. The planning has happened. I always laugh. It's taken us more than 9 months to get to where we are now. So this is really Festival Week. Everything begins in May, but festival activities really begin now.
Okay.
So everything is happening. If you're in Sandton, you'll see that we've pretty much taken over the precinct. Branding has gone up. It's really now showing that the festival is here. Some of the artists have actually arrived. They're already in the country, so it's amazing times.
Okay, and then when you speak about Wynton, for example, going to Soweto, what brought about that idea? Or was it an initiative on his side? And like, actually, you know what, I want to go speak to people.
Sure. So, look, we've got a youth program, an extensive youth program that started earlier on, actually. Our first one is called Geleza Clever, which is really about educating the youth about the business of music. So the extension of that is that Wynton, the father of jazz, if I can call him that, has got a program of his own that he runs in America, and it's called Jazz for Young People. Since for jazz to survive for the future, we have to be speaking to the future generation. It made a lot of sense. There was a lot of synergy between us to say, there has to be a partnership here. So he was interested in doing it. We already have a youth program, so, you know, it was like, let's just do it while he's around.
I mean, look, there's a lot happening in South Africa musically.
Sure.
We've got genres of our own that we've created.
Absolutely.
And it could be anything, going from kwaito to komu,
Piano.
our version of house music, etc. and so on. How do you think musicians in South Africa, for example, can take a page from, let's call it jazz musicians, and they can be from South Africa as well?
Sure.
And the reason I ask this is because, for me, it always seems like the average jazz musician, albeit not sometimes educated, always goes about their business in a very different way. You look at
Sure.
somebody like Quincy Jones, right?
Sure.
And how he started out,
Sure.
homeless, out in the streets, doing crime, and end up being a very respectable member of society,
Sure.
right? Whereas some genres, and I don't want to down-talk hip-hop, is one of my favorites, right? But the only person that you can speak of really ends up being a beacon of hope, maybe two people, would be like Jay-Z and Diddy.
Sure.
What is it about the culture of jazz, for example, that differs from other musical cultures?
So look, I think jazz is an art form, and I'm not saying that all music is not art. I think we're in an art space, and I think there's something about jazz that's it's about an education. So if you watch Wynton, actually, as he does his master classes, he kind of breaks it down for you of what jazz actually is. And he starts talking about this is something that you need to experience from a very young age, where you're just like, I don't even understand what this means. Like, a piano is playing, what does that actually mean? You touch another instrument, what is a trumpet, and what is... So I think with jazz, you have to learn all of these instruments, while I can almost say the other form is, it's almost like an inherent, you sing, and this is your heart. So jazz is really about bringing all elements together. It's about improvisation. It's about creating while you're going. So it's really, really a creative space. That being said, you will see that our marketing for the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz is live the music. Jazz is not apart from music. It is a form of music. You talk about hip-hop, the part of the living the music and Jazz Unleashed was we wanted to unleash the elements of jazz in other genres of music. I think last year, one of the most amazing thing that happened, it's just a pity it never really happened because late Bra Hugh got sick, is there was a conversation that was happening between him and Ricky Rick. You know what I mean? So that's what jazz is. Jazz for me is infused in different genres. It doesn't exist on its own. It actually exists in almost all the music that you're actually consuming now. So I think that's what makes it different. It's really an art form. It's something that you learn. It's almost like a curriculum of sorts, of something that you actually have to study to fully understand it, but not necessarily as well. It's just about experiencing it.
Okay, and if somebody's trying to join the masterclass tomorrow, is it too late? Have the people that are attending already been selected?
It's not too late. So what we've done is it's free to the public. all you have to do is register online. The registrations are still open. It's happening tomorrow, Walter Sisulu Square. Literally, all you have to do is tell your friends. You have to be between the ages of 12 and 35. I have to stress that because that's our youth. But literally, if you love music, it's not about jazz. If you're a music fan, you'll see how Wynton conducts these. It's actually getting you into the world of jazz, and he distills it for you, and you just literally have a lot of fun. So yeah, if you are 12 years old to 35 years old, go onto our website, www.joyofjazz.co.za, click on Jazz for Young People. It's as simple as that in terms of registration, and that'll get you in.
Thank you very much for joining us.